All right, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is pretty much just an impromptu video here. Got a little impatient. All the numbers look good with the test results on the Cade, and as you guys can tell, there is a big old mess in here. So I started to move corals. I've pretty much moved all the fish except for that fox face, the clown pear here, and this wrasse, which kind of eluded me when he darted into the sand, and I completely forgot to go look for him. It was kind of a rush job. I really, to get all the fish, I did try to use a trap that my friend Lewis had let me borrow, but that worked out for maybe one or two of the, actually three of the fish, and they were mainly the damsels, so, you know, damsels. Regardless, what I ended up doing was I pulled out all the rock work, and let me cut down the exposure here. There we go. That was all blown out. So what I did was I pulled out all the rock work, pretty much with everything that you guys see here. Took them all out, 3 different sections, pulled them all out, and just went in and used a clear container. Pretty much this one here and another one up that I have up top, and just kind of corralled the fish and got them out one by one. Also did get rid of the 25 gallon that was here, which was the old 60 gallon that had all of my euphyllias and a lot of the LPS in there. So that is gone. It has been taken down. This project that I'm working on here with getting everything to the new tank is moving very, very quickly. So let's see, a couple other things that I need to do. Obviously the SPS is going to be my worrisome move regarding everything, but as you can see down here, clam has been moved, my big acanthophilia has been moved, the symphilia has been moved, the lobo has been moved. That opened up this sand bed for me to pull off some of the pieces that have been kind of just floating around with nowhere to go at the moment, get them cleaned up and put them on the frag rack here. A couple other things that I'm going to start moving here is all of these acans. That's just going to be a slight logistics nightmare for me because I want to put them in the right spot so they look good, they'll get proper lighting, and they'll grow as they should. But as we look around, everything is still looking good so far. Obviously I haven't moved the clowns mainly because I need to move this also with them because the other tank had a pair in there. What else now? Stepping around the saw here. So here goes a bunch of the frags that I have. That'll actually, most of those will be going to an upcoming show here in October in Florida, and they'll be there on display for sale. So, you know, just a lot of things that are going to happen. Like I said, I got frag plugs, so I'm going to end up getting frags from doing everything here. And like I said, by the end of September, I should have most of this all moved over to the new system. Real quick, here goes my little station. So pretty much just got the Griffin wet saw. Also borrowed that from a friend here, and ended up having to buy a new blade for it. So the blade just came in yesterday, and I went to smoothing things out and chopping stuff up. Actually, it came in a couple of days ago, but I've been working on pretty much this whole thing here. So I ended up putting back the C-Che pump. I had an issue the day after I did the video, and the pump that was up here, it had so much force behind it that it actually pushed off of the rock and ended up shooting up a bunch of water. Pretty much a couple gallons of water got shot out of the top of the tank over and onto the floor. So had a nice little flood, learned my lesson. Don't use an overpowered pump unless it's secured, and that was that. So right now, as you guys can see, there is light on here. That is from the Orphic bar, and I ended up moving over one of the Radiant XR15s so we can light up this little area here, which has pretty much all the euphyllia that I have in this tank, minus the ones that I did cut up. So let me see, let's fix this exposure here real quick. There we go. add some more light back in here. So we got the a lot of the corals that are here that came from the old system, or from the system over here. And I've just been moving a couple things here today. You can see everything is doing okay for right now. Obviously, the one main reason that I ended up moving the LPS first is they're a little bit more tolerant to nitrates and phosphates and things like that. So I did move these over first because, one, their requirements are a little bit more relaxed than the SPS corals. And if there was anything wrong, it would be easier for me to get these to recover versus if I moved an SPS in and have it strip or RTN overnight. That would really suck. So I did move a lot of the LPS over. That's pretty much phase one of this whole project, is just to get these LPS in, get them into their spots and let them do their thing. As you guys can tell, the fish have settled in pretty well. One of my worries about moving things in, as you guys can kind of see here, is the yellow tang and the scopus tang. They seem to be doing okay. At night, I did notice that, you know, they're all still trying to figure out where they're gonna go to sleep for the night, and they'll kind of push each other out of one spot or another. So everybody's still trying to figure out, you know, where they're gonna sleep for the night. But other than that, all the fish are out. They're doing really well. I had the cover off on the Ciche. Unfortunately, I had a fish that had a Darwin moment and got a little too close and got sucked in. Yeah, that wasn't good. So I went ahead and put the cover back on so we don't have any more fish doing any Darwin expeditions and trying to see what the pump does. But here's the other pair of clownfish, which this was their home for a long time. So hopefully they'll settle in here. And that's why I don't want to move the anemone until I move that other set of clownfish. Because the last time I did that, let me show you. So the last time I made the move, she here decided that this was going to be her man. Bottom line, that's what happened. The last pair that I had moved in together at once, she beat the female up to the point she ended up passing away. She was that bad off. I couldn't catch her. It was just a nightmare. All the rock work was in there, and it just was something I couldn't salvage. So unfortunately, that's what happened. They're now a couple, and that is what it is. So that's why I'm holding off on moving this set here until I'm ready to go ahead and do so. But for right now, like I said, I'm just getting all these LPS moved in here. Sorry about that. Getting all the LPS moved in here and just getting them placed. One thing, I don't know if you guys noticed in the videos, my elegance coral, that actually was getting a bit dinged up from something. I could not figure out what it was. I'm thinking chemical warfare, because the last time I've seen an LPS do this was back when I had my torches with my leathers, and the leathers pretty much had a whole chemical warfare issue and kind of wiped out all the tentacles on the torches. So that's the last time I've seen a coral lose tentacles. It is eating, so hopefully moving it over here will give it more water volume, and just, you know, be a happier environment for it to grow out and things like that. So did move the mammoth polys here, or pallies, sorry. And you know, that's pretty much it. You guys can tell the corals and the fish are pretty happy. The first few days that they were in here though, everybody was kind of skittish. Obviously, you know, new environment. They spent a couple of days like that, and then eventually, once I started putting corals in, they really decided, okay, let's go in and, you know, check out things and see what's going on. So no one looks stressed out, and everybody looks pretty happy so far. Just a little top-down view I want to give you guys here. But yeah, that's the plan right now. So this is phase one of this whole project. Getting the LPS corals in, getting them all settled. I do have one more hammer to get. Unfortunately, I picked up one from Trash Panda Aquaculture, and I did end up losing it. So I'm gonna have to get with him, get with Joe in regards to that, see if I can get another piece of that particular hammer coral and get that plugged right in here. That's why I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and place that one when I get it. That should kind of round off my LPS right now, unless I get rid of this big colony of frog spawn, and you know, just have it just one large colony. So I have this one at the top, pink frog spawn. Both of them all came back from a single polyp that was halfway out the door. So there is some shaded out pieces here that you guys can see that were bleached out, mainly from where it was placed in that cube tank. And let's see, so there we go. So yeah, they were shaded out. So for a while there was no light hitting it. There was still polyps, but just no light. So it actually bleached out. Since I moved it here and I've kind of put a bit of light on top of it, it actually got polyp extensions, and you know, everything looks a little bit better. So hopefully that colors back up. Same thing goes for the other two here. I think this is actually hammer I've had for a few years now. So I'm actually, you know, happy I still have that. It's still alive, but it's not too happy here right now. Whatever was going on in that little cube tank took a bit of a toll on its polyps also, and I'm kind of happy I got that from out of here. The other thing is this framer hammer, whatever you guys want to call it there. I got it as a frog spawn, and eventually it looked like it was just a green and purple hammer coral or a framer, because it has some weird polyps at times. But this one here is doing a little bit better. Since I moved it over here, it was shrunken up for a few days. So keep in mind that particular tank, I full on neglected it. I moved everything over after it started having a leak, and I barely did a water change on it. So a lot of the time was just staring at it, because mainly it was all LPS. I knew that, you know, I could be a little relaxed on the care requirements for it, but it was getting to that point where it was like I really had to get in there and do something to fix the issue and to get that resolved. So let me see if I can, as you guys can see, man, once everything gets set in here, this is going to be an awesome tank. So just wanted to go ahead and get you guys this video here. Like I said, it's real impromptu. I got a little impatient and I'm starting to move corals, and before I end up taking out this whole bottom section here and moving it, I'd rather just go ahead and give you guys a video on it, show you guys what's been going on, and let you guys soak all this in here. So hopefully the next time you guys see this or see this tank, it will be either empty or very close to being empty here. Everybody's been asking me what I'm going to do with lighting. At this moment, I'm keeping the radions. They're going to come with me over to the new tank. They've been working fine here. The corals, obviously, as you guys can tell, the corals are doing awesome, and there's no need for me to change the light. It's not broken. There's nothing wrong with the spectrum coming out of it. It's not doing anything weird, so therefore I'm keeping it. As for the reef brights, that's probably going to be up for debate depending on what I do with the rest of the lighting and everything on this tank. So for right now, this is what it is, and the MP40s will be coming with me. I do need to clean these X3s here and get them all tidied up. They haven't been cleaned in a few months. I barely think there's any flow coming out of it. Mainly all the flow has been coming from the radions. I mean, not the ranges, the MP40s. So those have actually been putting in all the work, moving everything around in here. Okay, so the LPS don't need an intense amount of flow for them to actually look good and be happy. As you can see, this was really much smaller. It was about, maybe it's 2 times bigger than what it was when I first moved it in here. So it is liking the gentle flow. Same goes for the elegance coral here. It, like I said, most of the polyps are starting to shrink up. They actually look a little bit fatter now today, which is good. And like I said, we're just going to keep this going, man. We're going to go ahead and get everything in here. It is, for me, a lot of just staring at the tank and then trying to figure out where am I going to place corals that I know are going to grow in a certain way, or how it's going to look once it becomes a full colony. So it's just placement. Definitely, if you guys do like what you see here, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button, hit the thumbs up so you guys can get that notification when I go in and post new videos. And I will talk with you guys on the next one. I'm gonna go grab some more corals and get plugging things in. Peace.